Hello, my name is Curtis Ray. I'm currently running for County Commissioner for Washington County. And my platform is going to be trimming the fat of the county, reducing taxes, preventing any form of corruption, and making it very apparent if people are being corrupt. And 4, allowing all forms of freedom of speech at the county commissioner meetings. Currently, number 4 on my platform is actively under attack by one of the other county commissioners. His name is Derek Harvey. He is spearheading a movement to prevent any more than 10 minutes being spoken in total at the county commissioner meeting. And currently, I'm going to show you clips from the county commissioner's YouTube, which this is on October 8th. And if you go 2 hours in, you will be able to reference everything I'm talking about, but I'm going to be showing you clips of it. And let's get to it.
First and foremost, I think from a procedural and a consistency perspective, whether we pass this or not at some point in time, it is still about, enforcing it. We've had a 3 or 3.5 minute grace period, 30 seconds, but it's really not been enforced. And you can't start enforcing it and then still let other people go over the limit. And so we've not been enforcing it. The gavel's not been used ever because we've tried to be courteous, but then some people go on for 8 minutes, 9 minutes. And so this all comes back to, I'm not even sure this is needed if you actually enforce the rules and things that we've had before. When I look at the text here, avoid making slanderous, avoid. It doesn't say you can't, Aaron.
That's correct.
Right, because we are limited in what we can do because it is public speech, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So putting it in here is just an advisory. We would like you not to.
Well, I think the whole answer to this is.
So as you just seen in that clip, Derek Harvey is being very adamant on attempting to censor and limit freedom of speech at the county commissioner meetings. And he is a Republican. We're all Republicans. Why is it that our Republican representative is becoming extremely Democrat? There's no reason for him to be turning on the party like this. I thought that Republicans, we stood for freedom of speech. We stood for the Second Amendment. And those are 2 of our biggest platforms as Republicans. People want to be free in this country and in this county. And I believe that if you're not doing anything wrong, why would you prevent citizen comment? The only reason you'll do that is if people are starting to call you out on very corrupt things that the county's doing. That's the only reason. Let's get to the next clip.
And that's why we need the limits, and we should have been enforcing our guidelines all along. I just go back to the point number 2, and Aaron, speak and act politely, calmly, and reasonably. How do you determine what is calmly or politely?
Do you see how ferociously he's fighting for this? Like, he is putting his full ass behind it. He wants to take it away. He wants to get rid of it. He is upset that people are actively coming out in the community to speak about ill things that are happening. He doesn't want you to come out and speak your grievances. He doesn't want you to do that in front of the people. He'll take your letters and whatnot, but if you start calling him out in front of people, that's when he'll get pissed. That's why he's trying to get rid of it, as you can see. All right, let's get to the next clip.
I expect you allow whoever wants to talk.
The one thing that's...
See, this is one that blindsided me while watching it. Wagner actually fully believes in freedom of speech. He actively stated that he does not think that anything should be done to it. That's impressive. I'm a big fan of that. Thank you.
I'm very concerned that the profanity and the abusive language is, not able to, they can't see our meetings because Antietam Cable will not even broadcast it then, which is, a harmful item.
So as you just seen from that other clip, he wants to give up freedom of speech in the county so that way he can get more exposure on TV and make himself look better. Because in citizen comment, people have been starting to state certain things that the commissioners are not doing properly, and it's actually going to cause the taxes to have to increase in the county this year or next year, depending, because of poor financial management and just irresponsible physical activity. That's all this is. And I think this is disgusting. He is trying to make himself look better by silencing his critics. That's literally what freedom of speech was about. I would never allow this. If I'm county commissioner, you come up and call me a dickhead. I don't care.
There's a second part here, and I'd like Aaron's answer on this, because one way, because my concern is Potomac Cable, and we can have some form of an adjustment, but I think it has to be enforced, whatever it is. But could we break our meeting up into two parts where we adjourn, so where we do our invocation pledge, call to order? We can do citizens' comments then before there's commissioners' comments. And at the end of citizens' comments, you break, we take a recess and start a second part two. And then Antietam Cable can then look at, we air part 1 and 2 together if there's no problem. And you can, excise out that separate part of the meeting and call it Commissioners Meeting A and formally make it A, separate and apart from B, so there's no mixing issue here. We need to think of something creative like that so Antietam Cable could actually broadcast if we had someone not avoid the vulgarity.
So in that last clip, he was referencing breaking up into two parts. So citizen comment would be in part A, and then the actual full meeting will be in part B. He is talking that he would want to cut out part A, which would be citizens comment, and that would be where your critics, people that disagree with how the county is actually operating, would be in that part A. So the whole basis of this is to silence the critics and only get the good on TV while getting rid of the bad. That's propaganda. You're actually trying to suggest that we do propaganda. It's disgusting.
Case, something, because we
My only
want.
concern would be the Open Meetings Act, so we would need to make sure that we wouldn't be violating any,
How would it
conditions
be?
of that.
They've had their,
Because the entire meeting includes public comment. That's what we notice.
right, but we provide both parts to a separate entity. Right now, they're deciding not to broadcast.
I think we'd have to figure out sort of what those parameters are and.
It's not
bring
us
those-
violating the
Yeah.
Open Meetings Act.
No, we need to keep that in the back of the mind,
Okay.
whatever we do,
All
but
right.
certainly.
And that last part, he just got scolded by not only the county administrator, but also the county attorney. That just shows you how outrageous he's getting about this. Like, he is actively trying to find every nook and cranny he can to prevent citizen comment. Why is he so against freedom of speech? I don't understand. This is somebody that we elected as a Republican to represent us, and he turned into a turncoat. What's happening? I don't know, but let's go to the next clip.
The next item on the agenda is citizens' participation, and please follow me closely on this because there are some new rules of engagement that we are setting up for citizens' participation. This is an opportunity for citizens to comment about an issue or issues of county practices and interests. This is not an interactive dialogue or question and answer session. It is solely a time to hear citizens' comments. Citizens' participation is scheduled on the agenda for a total of 10 minutes. Please, and I'm going to say this again, please limit your remarks to 3 minutes or less, and I will strictly enforce this time limit. Lastly, please state your name and address for the record. And I understand sometimes the address is strictly where you go to school or where you work. Is that correct? Okay. So with that, can I see I know we got quite a crowd here today. I'd like to see a show of hands of who wants to speak today. And already we've got more than 10 minutes will allow. So I'm going to go with Beth Harvey first.
So in that video, what you just seen was that Barr is now going to enforce the 10-minute precedent that Derek Harvey was pressing for back in October 8th. That was, I believe, February 24th or 28th meeting, one of those two. And currently, for these next coming meetings, it will now be strictly enforced to be only 10 minutes. The only issue is that you can see in the video that Barr immediately picked Derek Harvey's wife, who, mind you, is president of the Republican Central Committee. She's the one who appoints Republicans if people retire or whatever have you. She's the one that makes the decisions. So as you can see, let's limit free speech, but allow our family members to speak and take up a lot of the time in the public forum and prevent citizens that are coming up to give critiques and get exposure about corruption. Let's just get rid of them. Let's just, no, let's not do that. Yeah. So as you can see, it is getting out of hand in our county. We really need to address this here very shortly, especially in the 2026 primary and election. To wrap all things up, as you can see, these county commissioners, a lot of them do not care what the everyday person says until election year. They usually run rampant. Currently, we're going to be in a massive deficit come this year and next year. And the only way we can get out of it is raising taxes. And they don't want to talk about that. My theory is they're going to just take out bonds to pay for it for the next 2 years here. And then come election year, whoever gets elected, they're going to have to raise taxes because they are absolutely dropping the ball. They are going to hurt this county dramatically, and no one wants to bring it up. But it is us as the citizens during public comment to raise awareness that the county is being very fiscally irresponsible. And I'll leave with this note. I'm Curtis Ray. I'm running for county commissioner, 2026 election, and it will be a ray of hope. Thank you. Bye-bye.